strange food requests that might either shock you or surprise you.
Did you say strange food requests?
Yes,
I mean, yes, the meals coming sounds like they're straight off a menu from El Terrell Tavern. I mean,
I see.
we're talking like, you know, uh, venison salted with thyme, rosemary, and dill. I mean, these are. I mean, it's not something that is completely uncommon around here, but I mean, this is Baldur's Gate. I mean, we're a fishing town. I mean, people around here, we like our fish. We like our whitefish. We like our cod. We like our snapper. Yeah, venison is sort of a, yeah, it's
Well,
more
where
I
more
is
of
the
a
know,
venison?
and
Where is
and
the
I
venison right
and
now?
I know firsthand, as have just entered the city through the lowliest portal I could, because that is my status. That there are a great deal of butchers and whatnot on the local level that do not serve that fare, but serve locally raised mutton and cattle. Venison is definitely something of the country diet, I would say, unless I am mistaken and have
no,
overstated.
no. I've been around here my whole life, born and raised. It's definitely something that is again, I'm a cook, I'm a chef. I've made it before, prepared it, but not something I'm really accustomed to. That and then the wild boar. Very strange. Yeah, I don't even know where they found it, but they bring me up hunks of big old hunks of wild boar to cook. Not
as
exactly sure where they
as
get it
as
from.
someone who grew up in the northern regions and those areas thus considered wild, I can appreciate the flavor of the slightly gamey wild pig. So I understand that that may come as a surprising flavor to those of you who live here in the south. And I find that is probably less available here in Baldur's Gate, if I'm not mistook.
Oh yeah, we don't really have much of it, and we really don't have much use for it. I mean, you can have all.
The NPCs sing with me. We don't need the NPCs. Okay.
Rule number one, you do not eat NPCs. Rule number two, do not eat NPCs.
My sound is up and your video is up.
And we are live.
Yep. Welcome.
Yay! Welcome to the Critical Fail, everyone. Yay! It is Monday. We are the Critical Fail. We played lots of games. Tonight, we are going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We're going to be doing the adventure Descent into Avernus. Ooh. We have been playing this campaign now for a little over a year, and during that time, our characters have had 3 long rests. So there you go.
Well, actually, in the last 2 days, we had.
Oh yeah, you actually had you had more long rests in the last 2 days than you had in the previous year. But but it's all good. It was the first time that our characters have properly left Baldur's Gate. So our characters are on the road and have actually, or were on the road and have arrived at Candlekeep. But before we get into that, let's do introductions. My name is Mark. I'm the Dungeon Master, and I will be guiding our merry band of hobo slayers as they slay all the hobos and collect all the loot and do all the dancing and partying. And from there, let us now go to the person I see in this corner up here, which would be Mordecai the Magnificent.
Hello, I'm Joey Joe, and I play Mordecai the Magnificent. Yes, a tiefling illusionist. Oh, magic. Yes, that's me. Hello. I don't know what else I need to say. That's pretty much it. That's all you need to know. My buddy down here, Grin, I'm going to point him out next. He's going to say hi.
Hey. I'm Greg, and I play. Whoops, I disappeared for a second.
I was like, ooh, who's the illusionist now?
Teach me that.
No, I don't. I play Peregrine Ghostwind, also known as Gren, a human fighter, party foil, and I will go to. First, I have to look at who's on. I will go to the person who's that way for me. That way for me is Jaren.
Other that way. Yeah.
Oh, you're muted.
Other mute.
Uh.
Oh no. He's got a sound issue?
Uh-oh.
Is it your mic, maybe?
Uh-oh.
Here, pantomime and we'll describe who you are
Yeah.
based off of your
Jaren recently
And-
multi-classed into a
Jaren-
monk. Who,
Jaren, just move your mouth. Ready? Here we go.
yeah.
Hello.
Oh yeah, brother.
My name
Jaren the Hellhound.
Okay, instead we'll go to Darius. Darius, you go and speak long enough that that Jaren has time to figure out these sound issues. That I know that might be a problem for you speaking for a long time.
How dare you come to me, expecting one of such short and sweet breath should be granted such an honor to speak slowly like Gandalf. Hi, my name is Alan, and I play Darius Coda, the half-orcan bard of Waterdeep. That is me, and I am here to chronicle this brilliant crew's adventures into what I hope shall be an epic poem and not an epic fail. Yes.
Lovely.
How about who hasn't? Jaren, how are you doing over there? Still nothing. Rhys, you've gone?
I am gone.
You okay? Yeah.
Way gone.
Rhys is out. Rhys is out. Rhys is out.
I think
I can
Jaren
go.
is going to reconnect.
Well, then I toss it over to Rhys.
Okay.
Hello, Rhys.
I am Rhys, played by Marcus, and I am a full drow elf. He likes to use his brain. He likes history and people, and is always honest, always. And
Nice,
I guess,
always.
according to last week, he also collects slaves. So
It's a thing.
That was a last week thing. We're really past that. We've moved on.
My character's English is far better than the players. I said, a curator of art and people, without realizing what curator really meant. So yeah,
Nice.
all right, and that's it. I shall pass on to the Dungeon Master.
Yay! That would be me as we wait for Jaren the Hellhound. We do have a couple characters who might pop in a little bit later. I know there is the lovely Elsa Elton, played by the beautiful Courtney, who is not going to be here tonight. So I will be NPCing
She got
her.
Steve's jobs.
She got Steve jobbed. That's right. Due to some computery technical difficulties. but hopefully she will be back next week. And there is also Lucius de Valen, played by the also lovely Dave Jack, and he thankfully jumped on because he knows all the technomancery that has to do with the Twitch and the casting of things. So he got everything set up.
Without him, there would be no Twitch. There
One
would
level
be
of
Twitching.
technomancery for Jack.
Yes.
I think that's
Twitching.
Artificer actually, but
Yeah, there we go. He gets an honorary level of Artificer. And then we should see our favorite Tabaxi door kicker at some point.
He just checked
played by
in on
Matt.
Facebook saying he's running behind.
Ah, there we go. And so now it sounds like our audio difficulties have been resolved. So Jay, we'll kick it to you.
yes, my name's Jay. I play Jaren Kincaid, also known as the Hellhound, and that's it. We're desperately enjoying this like kind of dip into a directed like 3-pronged multi-class that Mark gave us yesterday, and I think we're all on somewhere like level 8-ish, roughly. Roughly.
8-ish.
Yeah, lovely.
It's my favorite level.
Feels right.
Between 8 and 11.
Believe it or not, this is actually like where we all just like level up like level 5. I don't know if you covered that or not. This is kind of like about where my peak fun of D&D usually happens, is between level 5 and 9.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
honestly, because it's where like I think it's where most of your adventuring happens. But that's when you're like kind of feeling cool, but you're not getting into doing really stupid shit where the DM can't handle it.
Right.
Yeah, no, at level 20 they were definitely doing some stupid shit, but it was also pretty fun. You know, when it gets to the point where the wizard can just nonchalantly cast, disintegrate at like local ruffians who piss him off. Some guy's like, "Hey, I don't like you," and the wizard's like, "Yeah, disintegrate." Anybody else got a problem with me? Tis good things.
Makes that
At
intimidation
20th
check
level,
a lot easier.
20th usually at 20th level, the only thing left to do is something stupid.
Right. Yeah. We did have a dwarven barbarian battle rager who was level 20,
yeah.
and he got the boon, or the barbarian, they get the at level 20 they get like, what is it, like perfect form, perfect health, perfect something, where basically their strength and con, and I think it's their strength and con go to like level 20. They get like a 24 or something, and so this dwarf actually wrestled a flying ancient dragon out of the air, jumped on, grappled it, and basically,
John Cena him.
yeah, yep, and
No.
pile drove him into the city street. It was pretty awesome.
And
So I was
then
like, oh yeah,
basically- and basically walked around saying, "What other blood can I drink?"
that was true. Yeah,
Because
he was having fun drinking dragon blood and eating dragon hearts.
forever.
Oh, that's right. He was eating them until he was puking them up and just eating them more.
Yeah.
Savage.
Yes. Yeah. He's and his new character is very much the same. So
Eating a dragon hearts this very day.
He's typecasted.
Totally.
Poor fella.
All right, so let's go to our characters. Yes. Now it took roughly 3 days in the characters have gathered a wagon. They've got draft horses as well as riding horses, and have made the trip from Baldur's Gate to Candlekeep, having to flee the city after the assassination of Duke Gillard Portier, who was hopefully going to be an ally, but an assassin in the crowd killed him, and then the traitorous faction of the Flaming Fist seems like they were blaming it on House Elton and Elton followers, which is our group. Portier's niece, a sort of a captain commander in the Flaming Fist, who seems to be of the loyalist faction, basically implored to the characters that they needed to leave. Like there was nothing she could do to help them at that point. They just had to get the fuck out of there, which our characters very quickly did. So they have traveled now 3 days to get to Candlekeep, presenting a tome that Darius Cota had procured in the Van Thamper Manor um, to gain admittance into the keep. As Candlekeep is it's an interesting place. It's basically one of the largest repositories of knowledge in the realms, and entrance is a book. So there is the Candlekeep. And let's see. So is that? I think that's. Oh no, we're on the thing. Oh yeah. So let's see. I have that.
So I do have a question. Which one
Yes.
should I present? The description of a vision of the supposed end of the multiverse in Apocalypco, or the a work of erotic fiction sought after by collectors.
Yes, that
Yeah,
would probably be
that
the one that would.
probably
Yes.
be the one. Although he'd say maybe just tuck it inside Apocalypto. I mean, yes, this is exactly. Yes, this was it. This is what I was looking for.
Let's see. If I move our
Oh, and I didn't say I took time to read it.
image of
'Cause I
Candle.
would have. Damn it.
Well, and of course, you are at Candlekeep, so you are free to peruse the library, including your own book that you just donated.
Right.
Let's see. Do we have? Did that show up now? I'm not sure. I don't. Anyway, let's. If I show to players like this, does that show up? It does not. Okay, I was just seeing if on the Twitch feed I could get the little mappy map stuff to show up, but okay, everyone use your imaginations. Candlekeep. It's a large sort of an island fortress, and I will do this here as well. So get our players over to here.
Oh wow.
There is the Candlekeep.
That's
So it
lovely.
is, yes. Candlekeep itself. Let's see, where is I've got a small description. Actually, the monks would be happy to accept Apocalypto as well.
Ah,
It actually, yeah,
lovely.
yeah. The outermost buildings include private dormitories for the monks. You do see there are a number of monks walking around. They wear purple robes trimmed in gold, and around their necks hang holy symbols for Denir, who is the god of writing. They seem to be a somewhat taciturn bunch, not talking too much. A lot of them literally walk around with their noses in books, reading pretty much constantly. And there are a number of regular residents, people that make this small little keep function. So there are public quarters for visitors. There is a bathhouse. There are a number of clothiers. There's granaries, gardens, so forth, everything that you might find in a small settlement. And with, of course, the requisite commoners and specialists to keep all those things functioning. They even have a pub called the Hearth.
Just a reminder at this point for the critical fail. Don't eat the NPCs.
There are many NPCs here, all delicious. I mean, no, but don't eat them.
I'll just chime in with that. Very important.
And here we have, yes, on our map, the entrance to Candlekeep itself, of course, is sort of this fortified bastion. and that leads through a courtyard where you have different guard posts and things like that set up for any type of keep defense. And oh, wait, I moved the other thing. Dang it, didn't get back there. You moving the entire map around. There we go. And once you pass through the outer courtyard, you then get into the inner courtyard. There's another fortified citadel on the inside, and that is also where the library is, containing all of the knowledge in the central portion of the keep. Over here, there is a temple to Denir. And then again, you have all sorts of, sort of mundane buildings. You have stables, you have cobblers, you have clothiers, etc., etc. But you are, I think, probably most interested in seeing Silvira Savicus. Boy, that's a
Awesome Pepper Incorporated.
And you are with Fallister Fisk. Fallister Fisk, of course, is a scribe who works directly with Silvira Savicus. And he has said that she is sort of the undisputed expert on all things relating to the Nine Hells. And he had said that she has in the past talked about dealing with this in an infernal puzzle box. So unless there is Fallister says, well, unless there's of course any sort of pressing concerns that you all might have, I think we should get to the Mistress Savicus. I'm sure she's probably wondering where I have been, having been imprisoned by the Van Thampers for such a long time. I mean, in truth, it was only a couple of days, but felt like an eternity. So, again, does this sound like a good plan, or like I said, is there anything that any of you need to take care of before we go and see Mistress Savicus?
Time of day is it?
It's probably 10, 11 a.m. Because it took you almost exactly 3 days to get to there, and you guys left right around midday of 3 days ago.
And our horses and stuff are in stables.
Yes, yeah, the stables are right inside the main entrance here.
And obviously our gifts were reciprocal to whatever we are seeking. The 2 books were plenty.
Oh yes, yeah.
What books did we give them? Sorry, I was on
Apocalypto and a tawdry little bit of erotic fiction called The Tumbledown Tales, which I did not get a chance to peruse, but I might yet, as that it is now part of the library.
Well, if you want to keep the Tumbledown Tales, one book is sufficient to let the entire party in. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would keep that one.
As a nice little souvenir.
Here's this, just in case you want to avoid, the end of the multiverse. I'll be over here just in case it does end with this lovely book. Yes, indeed.
Nice. All right then. Please, if you can all follow me, I can bring you to Mistress Savicus's chambers. So yes, you make your way toward the main keep. It's a towering edifice that looks as though it can house hundreds of monks, wizards, scribes, and other experts of written tome and language, as well as thousands of books and scrolls. And so in the very large spire here, in one of the chambers in there is Silvira Savicus's laboratory. You meander your way through these halls. Many of them are just completely lined with bookshelves, bookcases, tomes, scrolls filled to the brim. But you get to the laboratory, and the walls of this circular tower chamber are punctuated by arched windows that are currently shuttered. Bookcases filled with eldritch volumes stand between the windows, while tables are crowded with specimen jars, alchemical equipment, and other clutter. Engraved into the floor of the chamber is a large, nine-pointed star. A middle-aged tiefling, dressed in wizardly robes, stands by one of the windows, caught in a fugue of intense contemplation. Perched on the corner of a table nearby is a spindly little demon with warty green skin, buggy eyes, and thin black horns and a whip-like tail. She says, "I can't tell you how pleased I am to see you. What have you brought me?" And you see Fallister goes up and he says, "My apologies, mistress. I was actually waylaid. I was shanghaied, kidnapped, ransomed, if you will, by, well, it was a long story, but thanks to these fine people here, I am now, they've returned me to you so that I can continue in our research." They have some very interesting information, and I think an item or two that you might want to take a look at. And here is the picture of Silvira. Let's do this.
That's I knew that was coming.
Ooh,
I sat on it. I sat on it way too long.
So
Sorry.
that
you
is
would sit on it for
Silvara.
way too long.
Yeah.
And even though this is, obvious a laboratory, you have, unlike some other laboratories that usually are accompanied by very pungent, acrid aromas, she does have an incense burner sitting by one of the nearby tables, and it seems like it's got sort of a smell of like lavender and like an amber smell to it. So it's got a much nicer aroma that belies a lot of the sort of stranger alchemical ingredients you see in jars and in sometimes open flasks, which I'm sure have a much more pungent aroma were you to get too close.
Is this her personal laboratory / office?
Yes.
Okay. Can I, if I look around, would I be able to ascertain if there are any kind of pictures or trinkets or indicators on the wall of her being married, or perhaps does she have her wedding ring on?
She has no wedding ring. You don't see any sort of evidence that might suggest that she is betrothed.
I just may have to take my 18 charisma out for a spin later.
I say, "What's up?" in an 18 charisma sort of way.
So
That's right.
all it takes.
Hey man, a lot people other than bards have game. That's all I got to tell you.
And as you guys are kind of taking a look around, you see the little creature, the little warty, greened, spindly demon creature, kind of amble down from the table and kind of hop over to her, and you see he kind of climbs up, and she's kind of pats him on the head, and he kind of sits up by her shoulder, and you see her reach into a the sash that's around her waist, and she pulls out what looks to be like a little earthworm, and she hands it to him, and she's like, "Oh, this is a Jezebel. Now go. Stop being a nuisance." And it slurps up the little earthworm and then hops back down and.
I wave to the
Is
little
it-
one. Oh,
is-
hello there.
Does he look like Does he look like Salacious Crumb?
A little bit, yeah. He's a let's see. I could find a good picture.
So,
Well,
can we assume that that's a familiar? That appears to be her familiar.
yeah, that's yeah.
Okay.
Greg with the with the name drop.
Yeah, right. I was impressed.
Oh.
It's only because when we were kids, Mark, it was either me or Mark got the Jabba the Hutt toy set.
Nice.
For
I had
Christmas or
that one.
something, and it comes with Salacious Crumb. It comes
Right.
in a little
Little plastic one.
And I didn't know that he had a name, but they name all that stuff, and it's like it just says, Jabba the Hutt includes, throne room and Salacious Crumb, and I'm like, I guess this is Salacious Crumb.
Right. Yeah. Like what the fuck is a oh, that's salacious. Yeah, okay. Dun, dun. There you go. Just about to. Where is that? There we go. Dun, dun, dun.
Look at all the monks. So many.
Everybody was
monks.
kung fu fighting.
Ooh, Jezebel.
Oh,
Oh shit!
But he's
Really
he's
does
about a
hurt.
foot tall. He's like he's like this big. So he looks kind of like a cross between like a rat and a toad and something. Yeah, he's
He looks like a miniature version of the Cloverfield monster.
right.
Looks kind of like a devil version of those little demons from that movie, The Gate. You guys seen
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I remember that movie.
When Steven Dorff was just a kid.
Oh
Who's Steven
yeah.
Dorff?
Steven Dorff.
Way back in the day.
Steven Dorff played Deacon Frost in Blade.
Hmm.
Deacon Frost.
Yeah. He also played what's his name? Like the original Beetle guy who died.
Impure me, Frost. Impure me.
John
Beetlejuice?
Lennon.
No. No, he was
All
the
right.
guy who like bowed out to do art and ended up.
Tron, did you see the message I sent you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Aha.
Oh,
Oh, sure.
okay. So should I let Greg know now or later?
I'm not falling for that one again.
Love it.
These monks like to bunk up a lot, so the sleeping quarters, I'm sure, will be tight.
Thunder.
Yo.
Hey.
I just wanted to throw this out there as we're walking along the way because we're kind of going along things. But everybody's comfortable. We can trust these people with what we have. How do we know they're not?
No. I
You're
I
one
don't
to
know that I
talk.
would trust any of them
Who are we trusting?
No one.
or not trusting.
Yeah. Who are we not trusting? Everyone.
We're not trusting Mordecai, that's for sure.
Right up my alley. I don't trust Mordecai. Sleep with my back to a wall and my hand over my mouth.
To be clear, Candlekeep certainly doesn't have a reputation for anything necessarily nefarious, but make no mistake, everybody here, particularly the type of people we're going to be exchanging with these items that we're carrying, They seek knowledge. They view that as their ultimate currency.
All I can say is now that I've met Jay in person, I see when he says things, I see things differently. I can't even. It's like, to be clear, I'm like, what little tidbit of knowledge are you imparting upon us, Jay?
You've only seen the nice, friendly Jay, for the record.
Oh, I'm sure I have only seen the nice, friendly Jay.
This is Jay being reasonable.
No, nothing's on fire. It's totally fine.
We're all rating a monk.
You've met the nice, friendly Matt too, so we're good.
See, it's all good.
It's all good. I'm always friendly.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like
Wouldn't
me.
like it when I'm angry.
I don't like you when you're not angry.
There's a
like when
long
you're
list
happy.
of those.
Whispers, whispers,
Whispers everywhere. Uh-huh. Okay, so Ballister will say he'll say yes. So Mistress Savikas, they have in their possession what appears to be an infernal puzzle box. Now, again, I can only go off of the information that I've read about, as I've never seen one in person before. But I do believe that this does seem to be the actual real McCoy, if you will. It has all the correct markings that I've read about. It even has this very uncanny, strange warmth emanating from it. So, which one of you is in possession of the box? And she immediately steps over and she's like, yes, please, I would like to see this puzzle box. It's a very rare thing,
Oh.
very powerful.
Well, first off, it's a pleasure to meet such a lovely creature as yourself.
And she says, yes, thank you. It is very nice to meet you too. Do you have the box?
And I slap Grin with my tail as I step forward to speak with her.
I grab his tail and yank him back.
You do no such thing. You do no such thing. It's too fast and dexterous.
Welcome
yes,
to our very first class of Comedy of the Tail and tail usage. Feel free to comment with any of your favorite tail.
Following
actions.
along the path of the last message that I
Okay.
sent you, I pull out an item and say, well, first off, I should say I don't know if I can exactly trust the source from where this item came from, but as far as I know, this should be the real thing. And I lay it on the table.
All right. Lots of things going on here. Random jar of ichor. Okay. Boy. Let's see.
A random. Where did you? Okay, check his inventory for random jar of ichor first.
Oh, she grabs it.
The whole room
Right.
is bars of ichor.
All right. First, yeah, roll to hit there.
Critical fail. Critical fail. Oof, 10.
My dexterity gives me a +3, so I guess 13.
13. And what is your AC there, Mr. Mordecai?
Ooh, 16, baby.
Ooh, yeah. So, Mordecai, you can hear the whistle of a jar, and you manage to duck your head as it goes flying over your shoulder and smashes against the wall. And let's see what.
And I look at her and say, "That one will try to sleep with you first."
Grin says, I said I was going to toss you this, Mordecai. You didn't hear that?
The stonework that where it hits the wall, you see it immediately becomes covered in like a vibrant green fungus. And you see her and she goes, stop, stop, stop. Please, you have no idea. Some of these components in these jars are extremely volatile. Please, please, please. Whatever sort of petty squabbles you have, this is no place. This is
Please,
a
Grin,
place of learning.
yes. Grin, please calm yourself. These are guests. We're guests here in this place.
I ignore Mordecai and I say to Silvara, I say, my apologies, my lady. I was picking it up to look at it and it slipped out of my hands. I'll keep myself occupied over here.
Aha. And she's like, okay. She says, please, I don't want to have to ask you again. This is, again, very delicate, volatile things here. But thank you for this. And she picks up the cube, and she looks at it and she says, I do not know what this is, but this is no puzzle box. This
Of
appears
course
to
it
be.
is. Look at it, a puzzle box.
No, I see. It looks to be have some of the correct writings.
Well, we couldn't decipher it. We couldn't figure out how to correctly open it. I tried, but I failed. We were hoping someone here could.
And
Quick side note: am I because I'm playing Tabaxi? Am I hearing a cat, or is there literally a cat meowing?
There is no.
It's just in your head. You're hearing it, but it's only in your head.
We're so deep in
The
character
appropriate
right
answer
now.
would have been, we have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm like,
You okay?
The meow you hear are your inner thoughts.
I'm hearing Slobber Chops whisper to me right now.
You know, like in Peanuts, the teacher was like, wow, 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 wow. You know, that's how you hear this person talking is in meows, though. That's
yeah.
really wow, wow.
And you, my bad.
Riss says to the person, says that to my best research and memory, it's not so much a puzzle box, but more of a prison box to hold entities of evil.
A true infernal puzzle
That's
box.
close to the truth, yes.
It is along the lines of this, yes, but this is not puzzle box. She says, hold on, give me 1 moment, please. And you see her, she walks over to a desk. She starts like shuffling through some things. Then you see her, there's like a small little jar. It looks like it's got like salt or some sort of a white powder in it. And she grabs a little pinch of it and she holds the puzzle box. She sets it down on the table and she sprinkles the little white powder. And as she does, you see the puzzle box sort of start to like dissolve. And in its place, you see it appears to be just like a tin spoon. And she was like,
Hold our puzzle box.
she says, this was never a puzzle box. You have obviously been mistaken. No, there was a very minor illusion that was placed upon this. This is an ordinary spoon.
What a shame.
Stole our
what a
box.
shame. But hopefully the shield will be more
You're gonna give her my shield.
more realistic or more a better representation.
I walk over to Mordecai and I hold out my hand and I say, give me the puzzle box now.
Give me the shield.
I don't have the shield.
Who has the shield?
I don't know.
Riss knows.
I thought you had the shield.
I'm pretty sure the one person who's not going to take advantage of it has the shield.
You motherfucker stole the shield from me,
I was
and
whispering
now
to you.
who's got my shield?
I thought
I thought it was in your pants.
I think was Elsa carrying the shield?
I don't
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Nope.
It's Riz.
I
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can
I was
tell
pretty
it's
sure
Riz.
Riss and Lucius were.
It was late last week, and I don't think we carried a fucking shield.
Do we still have the shield, right, boys? I kind of look at her and look at the group as I'm kind of like stepping away from the key.
Mordecai, the puzzle box.
Where's
Now?
the shield?
The puzzle
Grin.
box.
Grin the shield.
I grab him. I put my hand on his shoulder, on Mordecai's shoulder.
Oops.
All right, that's fine. And as you do it, you suddenly know that your hand is on one of 6 shoulders.
That's okay. Puzzle box. Don't make me shake it out of you.
And in 6 Mordecai voices all talking at the same time. We don't know what you're talking about.
So to be clear,
Where's the shield?
Savicus, she said that was not a puzzle box, but it was. She could not recognize what it was.
No, she said it's a spoon. She basically she sprinkled some dust on it, and she was like, "No, this somebody cast some sort of a minor illusion on this regular spoon, and to make it look like a puzzle box." But there's nothing.
I wonder who could have done that.
Cat, good lord. Why every time I start playing, Cat just goes friggin' bananas. That's not it. What am I looking for here? Nope. Okay. Where am I? That.
Yep.
So right now, Mordecai, you did mirror image, and you're basically it's give me the box. No, give me the box. No, you give me the shield. You give me the box. Give me the shield first. Give me the box first.
Yes.
At this point, Silvira, she's kind of looking at everybody, and she says, I am sorry. I thought that you had something of value to show me. So far, you have shown me a very crudely disguised spoon, and now
this one here is disobeying us. He has been corrupted by the evil influences.
Who stormed into your home and started throwing alchemicals about as if he owned the place? Please.
He has the puzzle box on him. He's simply not handing it over because he thinks he knows better than you.
she says, if any of you do have a puzzle box, I cannot make you give this to me, but I would strongly advise that you do not try to meddle with this, or it can be fatal. I have seen novices, adepts, people who have more knowledge of these infernal type devices than you could hope to acquire in a year's worth of study. And I have seen them die trying to unlock these secrets. If you want to know what is inside, all I can do is tell you I am the only person this side of Faerun who can help you to unlock it. This is all. I hear
That all
there's
sounds amazing. I will continue to check my persons for the item that you speak. But until then, maybe we should start with the shield.
He says, if you have a shield, and at this point, Phallus is like, yes, I'm very, very sorry about the puzzle box. I should not have been that easily duped by it. But never mind. But the shield, I am almost 100% certain, is none other than the shield of the Hidden Lord. It contains the essence of Golgoth.
Bargoth.
Which the former ruler of one of the 9 planes of hell. It is absolutely terrifying to behold, and I'm again.
I'll walk up to the table and I'll whip it out. I have it like underneath my cloak, strapped on my back.
Wow. My God, are we still talking about the shield here?
Thunder happens.
The mere
Thunder-
fact he had it wrapped around his person, apparently.
Thunder's gonna walk up and lay his hands on the shield, like my friend.
The shield, like it feels warm to the touch. You see her. She, as you
I
walk
wanted
up.
to wait to pull this out because some people in this party don't have the mental fortitude nor balance when it comes to these kinds of items.
She says to Thunder, she says, pardon, monsieur, I don't mean to tell you your business. You are obviously very strong. You are very physically powerful, but the thing that is contained in this shield is love it. The thing contained within this shield is of a power and potency that I am afraid is beyond the even you. I would not get too close. I myself do not want to even touch it. I am not going to put my hands on it. I will study, but I shall not. I shall not do anything to put myself at risk.
As soon as I touched it, I felt its voice inside my head manipulating me, trying to get me to send it into a fight.
This sounds like it absolutely could be the thing.
It seemed as if it could see into my mind, for it knew my powers and my assets, and it tried to use those against me.
Oh, Thunder
These-
rolled his wisdom save.
This shield, it is truly a symbol of triumph over evil. The craftsmanship is beautiful, and one can easily overlook the terrible force that is bound within it. Gargoth is sometimes referred to as the Hidden Lord, was a very powerful devil sent by Asmodeus to try to corrupt mortals here on the prime material plane. There, this Hidden Lord amassed such a following as to rival that of gods. So in this way, Gargoth become a sort of a demigod, if you will, and having worshippers increased its power exponentially. My, how the mighty have yet fallen. Now, this shield has the power to corrupt everything around it. Perhaps you knew, perhaps you did not, but the Hune family in Baldur's Gate has kept it secret for years now. They are actually part of a very secretive order known as the followers, the guardians of the shield. Now, doubtless, I'm sure that they will want it back, but this shield should not be taken to any place where mortals reside. It needs to be locked away in extra dimensional space, away from the souls of those that it would try to corrupt.
What family had been caring for the shield?
There is a noble family in Baldur's Gate called the Hune family.
No.
We've met them.
Mm-hmm. That's the young chick who was imprisoned, with
Yes.
along with Falister Fisk. And I believe when you were at the house, somebody had gotten a feeling like you need to get the fuck out of there because, like, oh yeah, we're gonna skip breakfast because holy shit, I can't. Because they were talking about. I believe the lady Hune was talking about certain things about the Nine Hells and had seemed to have a very intimate knowledge of some very specific things that somebody in her position would not would not do, would not normally have. What are gonna copies pop and vanish? Copies pop and vanish.
Oh yeah. we
He's-
have
He's
that.
popping locking.
My
That's what-
illusions. They only lasted a minute.
Okay.
He's breakdancing.
Pop locking.
I'm popping and locking.
Oh, your the copies of Mordecai. I got you. Yeah. I thought you meant he was copying somebody named Pop and then he vanishes. I was like,
Yep.
who's Pop? Is he is Snap and Crackle there as well?
The shield did not talk to me, so I'm walking away dejected.
Broke up with you.
Thought it loved me.
There we go.
Okay, so what are we doing here? What do you say? What you say with shield? You keep shield, you back away, what we do? I carry shield, I carry shield. I'm
Sounds
starting
like
to
she
lose my
wants us
mind
to
and I'm
leave.
going towards the barbarian path if you haven't noticed.
Oh, we
think it's
noticed.
I think it's as a result of carrying the shield. My mind is broken.
Well,
You cannot break that which does not exist.
Heavy.
You are a cat with no hat.
Are you allowing him to take the shield back? Or are you saying that it must stay here?
I believe Silvaris said it should be stored in an extra dimensional space, so perhaps we should put it in a bag of holding.
well,
have a bag of holding.
I think our friend Mordecai has a very pertinent question to Lady Savicus. Are you recommending or are you directing?
That's my question.
Am I recommending or directing?
No,
No, is she?
No.
Lady Savicus,
Who is she to direct us anywhere?
My
a
question.
20th level Archmage that we're in her like dojo in.
Archmage, huh?
Is that what
Uh,
she is?
I will. I threw my drink at her.
Who am I drink at?
Okay.
I have a suspicion that we would all be toast.
You'd
Like
just be
we're all
like-
froggy and shit because we're like 5th level. We're like,
Technically, I'm only 2 and 3. I'm not even 5.
I searched the room for all sorts of contingency spells placed all over the place.
I'm still trying to get Mordecai to give up the puzzle box. I'm digging around in his pouches for
Every
it.
once in a while, you hear me giggle like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Stop it!
Stop it. I mean, but keep going. But
It's
keep
time for
going.
this
Oh,
later.
other pocket, deeper. There you go. Little left.
Ooh, that's a happy pocket.
She says, I do not commend. I strongly suggest, as not only is the power of the shield extremely potent and serves to want to corrupt all of the mortals that it can, including yourselves, I believe, should you be in contact with it for too long. But not only that, the Knights of the Shield will never stop looking for it. locking it away forever in a extra dimensional space is going to keep it safe not only from the mortals who it seeks to corrupt, but also from the Knights of the Shield who seek to own and preserve it.
I myself am good with you holding on to this and researching it and keeping it safe.
Says you can trust that although I am not incorruptible, I know full well the potency of such an item as this, and out of those people, I believe that I would be the safest one to keep it for the time being until it is locked away, hopefully forever.
Lady Civic, if you don't mind, would a potential option be to place it in a bag of holding, which would, in theory, muffle Gargoth's ability to communicate out to others and perhaps his followers to find him if we needed an option to take the shield with us for any reason?
I do believe that keeping it in such an extra dimensional space will diminish his power, but uh, that is a very, very good question. I was looking to perhaps banish it to another plane of existence. Now, a pocket dimension, like in a bag of holding or a portable hole, is something that is not a completely separate plane of existence, but I believe it will be the safest place to house such a thing, although I cannot guarantee that it will not still try to exert its influence. But I will research this more. I know I actually know a companion, colleague of mine, who is also very, very good with these sorts of things. And if anyone would have the answer, I believe that he would. So he is a very close colleague of mine, Trexigor. He is also here in the keep, different part of the keep. I shall consult with him, and we can see what we can discover between the two of us.
That is incredibly helpful. I guess one final question, or at least for the moment, this has been incredibly enlightening, and we definitely appreciate your counsel. Because I'm very confident my compatriot will quickly show you the real puzzle box. But reference the shield. Do you have anyone here at Candlekeep, or is there a facility, a quartermaster, or something of that nature, where we can purchase a bag of holding, obviously at market value, clearly, if the need arose that we would need to transport the shield? We would not need anything elaborate, and certainly we understand that Candlekeep, magnificent as it is, by the way, is not necessarily unlimited in its resources. We would gladly pay. But for the purpose of being able to protect ourselves and others, and potentially if we needed to study the object further or carry it to other locations, is there a way that we could procure one of these bags here at Candlekeep?
This
As
is,
we're patiently waiting on Mordecai to present to you the puzzle box that we all know that he has and that you probably will not let us walk out of this room with.
And perhaps a place to stay while you examine these. Oh, look what, and these items. Look what I found. Oh, it was in this pocket all along. Silly me. That was.
Wait, Grim was about to stab you in the kidney.
She says, she says, to answer your first question, Trexigor is one of the most knowledgeable scholars that I know dealing with extra dimensional travel, extra planar, pocket dimensions, This is not something that is normally in my field of expertise, so I shall consult with him. He might have in his possession, be willing to sell, to trade, do something, but um, again, I shall consult with him and find out if that is going to be available. I think it is a very wise choice if you are going to be traveling with this. Again, I shall make sure to talk to him and discover if this is a wise idea. As to the second question, as far as giving you place to stay, absolutely, you have the uh, there is the inn, which is right next to the local pub, the Hearth. Yeah, very nice place. Good mulled wine, comfortable rooms, and you shall stay there as my guest. Do not worry about any sort of costs. This is uh, trivial. And I thank you very much. I assume, Mordecai, you
I
produced.
sit down. Well, I sit down in front of her, a spoon this time.
You set a spoon down in front of her.
Yes.
And she looks at it and you see her pick up and she says, ah, now I see. She says, this is quite clever. Thank you so much for giving me this good laugh.
Bow and take
for-
off my hat and pull a flower out for her. Put my hat back on.
And she says, I thank you very much. Although, as much as I appreciate your humor, let me strongly suggest that this is no toy and should not be played with in such a manner. But she immediately takes it and she says, if you follow me into the next room, and she walks over to a semicircular wooden door bound with big iron bands, huge bolts going through them. You see her produce a key from the sash, puts it in the lock, turns the key. The door opens. The door is probably almost a foot thick of like solid oak, and inside there is the room is about 20 feet, like semicircular room again because we're in the tower. It's got windows that are all shuttered, and there is this, it looks like almost like a giant kind of mechanical astrolabe. So you've got gears and pistons, and it takes up almost the entire room. Near the center there is a pedestal, and she says this certain device is the only thing that I know that has any sort of chance to effectively defeat the traps and the arcane potency of this puzzle box. I can tell immediately this is a true puzzle box, and she says, where did you think did you get this box? Again, this is something of extreme rarity. In my entire career, I have seen two. This is now the third that I have seen, and I am again. This is what I devote my entire career to. So this is something I'm very curious about. And you see her as she's talking to you, she sets the puzzle box on this stand, this sort of a platform in the middle of this. And as she does, you see things gradually start to shift. Levers start to turn, big gears start very slowly turning around. It starts to rotate very slightly, and as it does, you see like little arcs of kind of like purple lightning, almost like a Tesla device, just start arcing off of the puzzle box. And she says,
I found a Tesla device.
we found it. This guy was making these electric cars, and he had this box, and he said it contained full self-driving. I don't know what that means. But yeah, so she's like, where did you find this? Who is in possession? Is this perhaps from one of you? Has one of you made a pact or a contract?
We found this in possession of the Van Thamper family in Baldur's Gate. Their sickly son, the skinny, sickly one of Duke or Duchess Van Thamper, whatever the hell her title is.
Ah, yes, yes, I've heard. I've never met her, but
We took it from him, and then I point at Mordecai and I say, "This fool here was fiddling with it and managed to knock himself unconscious. And we had taken it from him, but he stole it back again and has been fast all. I don't think he has the mental fortitude to actually attract any demon of interest."
She says it. She looks at you and at Mordecai, and she says, "Really, you tried to unlock the puzzle box, and it was knocked you unconscious."
A minor setback. I believe I have it solved. Maybe another try. And I believe I can also find more of these. It's really not a big deal. Capturing souls and whatnot. I've pretty much got it mastered at this point.
She says, of that, it would be interesting, although I do not wish to see you dead yet. So, but you must be either exceptionally lucky or very, very difficult to kill. As I have
He's
seen,
very difficult. Yes.
yes, I have seen, like I said, experts who know tomes and volumes, have studied these for years and still have been
Sounds like
killed.
a wonderful conversation to have over dinner tonight, perhaps.
She says, unfortunately, I believe that I shall be monitoring the unveiling of this puzzle box, but I will absolutely entertain a future conversation about your experiences with the puzzle box. I can add it to my entire collection. It is going to be always good to have firsthand knowledge of someone who has attempted to open and actually survived. You would actually be the first person, besides myself, who I know who has meddled with one and not been killed. So
it would make for an interesting, a riveting conversation, I'm sure. And I flash a little bit of a coin, it disappears, and I say, "We'll talk more later, perhaps."
When I take this from behind your ear.
She's like, yeah. And you see her. She takes the flower that you gave her, and she snaps her fingers, and it turns into like a little snake, and it like wraps around her wrist. And then she was like, "Here, I think this is probably more suited for you."
I look at Grin and I say, "I like this one."
Yeah, she's obviously got at least a little bit of arcanery herself.
I take a snake. I love it. It'll be my new pet.
Oh,
little
little
hit
snake.
points and stats for it immediately.
You'd be like, "Oh wait, we have one of those too. Where's the stick?" Bam.
Mine's bigger, bitch.
All right.
Don't want to know. Unless you've got bugs on.
So yes, she says, please, as you are guests here at Candlekeep, avail yourselves of the library. I shall send Felister to go and talk with Traxagora. We shall set up a meeting, and hopefully we can meet again tomorrow. I am not sure. Let's see. This is going to take some time. She says, yes, this is going to take some time, so please make yourselves at home within the keep. I shall send Felister to talk to you tonight. Hopefully we will have a meeting with Traxagora very soon.
Thank you very much. Again, illuminating conversation. If there's anything that we can do to assist you or the rest of Candlekeep while we go about the investigation of these matters, please let us know. We'd be glad to look into anything where our interests overlap. I think that would be a fair statement. And if you don't mind, I actually had one matter that was more of a business activity that I would like to discuss with you in private. If you have time during our visit here, I'd be glad to book something with your with whoever schedules your calendar.
She says, yes, I will certainly be able to meet with you, whatever you need. I do not have all the time, but I'm sure as I go through ministering to the device, it will give me some time to do other things. So,
And later, are we still granted access to the libraries for our own personal research?
she says, yes, absolutely. There are only a couple of libraries that are restricted access to the scholars here. Generally, they are arcane, very dangerous tomes that would not be wise for any of the uneducated to be trying to read. And it is
Absolutely.
again.
I myself am a seasoned researcher, but I do not want to step on any toes or go outside my bounds.
She said, "No, it's
disrespectful at all."
Oh no, it's you have your full run of all of the libraries here, except for those which are otherwise locked and are off limits, but they are clearly marked as such. So please avail yourself, a researcher like yourself. And might I ask, yeah, you know that my knowledge is about the planes, particularly dealing with the Nine Hells, dealing with the Devil's contracts, pacts, the Blood War. But it's very always nice to meet another scholar. So, what is it that you study?
I study broad aspects of most different cultures, different societies. I like to study history. I study art. I deem that you can find out much about a person and their race, culture through the kind of art that they collect and value.
Yes, this is very interesting. I have so many other areas of interest and knowledge, but I would love to be able to spend time educating myself in other things. But it seems all of my time now is completely taken up with the studies that I have dedicated myself to. But yes, if you have any other questions about any particular books or anything that you would like to know, please ask Falister. He is my personal scribe, as well as another very good researcher when he's not being ransomed. What did you say, Falister? You had kidnapped, ransomed, detained. When he is not slacking in his duties, he is actually quite a good researcher. So. And she's like, with that, if there is anything else that I can assist you in, otherwise I shall continue to calibrate the technomantic machine in order to break the seals and the bonds on the puzzle box.
Very
And
good.
And she looks at Grin and she says, "Oh, there is a mop in the bucket outside the door. If you can clean off the moss on the wall from the jar."
Mordecai said he would take care of that.
And she goes, "No, no, I'm just kidding, just kidding." And then she snaps her fingers, and you see it basically like sort of like a purplish kind of portal appears to like wrap around it, and it all dissolves and it goes right back into the stone.
Ooh, I like that one. Yeah.
She's like, I am sorry, I just had to
I
give
keep
you
it, I keep it.
a little bit of what how you say busting of the balls for breaking my vial. And she was like, don't worry, I would have had Fallister clean it up anyway. But yes, please, I must get back to my studies. And she kind of ushers you out, and Fallister is like, oh yes, yes, the lady must get back to the ministrations on the device. I shall go and schedule a meeting with Traxigor, and hopefully we can put our collective intellect together and find a very good solution to the problem of the shield.
Exegor is a sweet ass transformer name, by the way.
More than meets the eye.
Was he one of the Dinobots? I don't know. Traxigor? I have no idea. It does sound like a transformer name now though, but
It's one of the 5 construction vehicles that all combined and made one of the
Right,
big
yeah,
robots.
yeah.
One of those guys, whatever those were called, I forget. Constructicons.
Yeah.
Devastator.
Devastator. That was it. Good call. Good call.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Okay. So did anybody want to do anything else as far as investigating the city or doing any specific research? Otherwise, we can fast forward to meeting with perhaps Traxigor.
Yeah.
Yes, I think my wants and needs are very small. A quick jot into some musical scores and such, to do some quick picking up of melody here or there. That would be all I need.
We're getting the feeling that we're going to be here for a couple of days, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
think so. Yeah.
Well, then just at some point, between meetings, after the meetings, I'll probably burn a detect magic and look for a good illusion book to see if I can find something that's particularly spicy.
Spicy.
But that can be whenever.
Gotcha.
Well,
Grin's just gonna find he's gonna explore the taverns and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up in the taverns. Yeah, that's gonna be my night shift. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a small place, so they only do have like one official tavern called the Hearth, and that is it's attached. Yes, it is attached to the
Holiday in Candlekeep.
The public quarters for visitors.
Yeah. So, well, as everyone scurries off to do that, I'll probably attach myself with Grin there and go down there and
I'll probably attack. I was like, wait, you're attacking who?
No,
I'll probably
not this time. That's coming, I'm sure. I'll basically engage the the tavern, kind of barkeep, maitre d', pit boss, whoever that is, to make sure that we've got a rooms registered, all the basic, trying to be a good teammate kind of stuff. And I will ask, hey, is there some small facility that has wares, shops, things of that nature? I assume it's possibly also co-located here in the tavern and the hostel.
That has what are you looking for?
Any kind of supplies that somebody might need before they wander off looking for incredibly exciting books and tomes that Candlekeep may need.
Yes, there is a general store, if that's what you're looking for. They do have more specific, there is there's a blacksmith.
Okay.
You've got, again, there's a clothier who's makes clothes. There's a cobbler. So, but if you're looking for sort of general goods,
just kind of curious what was around. So
yeah,
I will occupy a large central table by the fire at this point and open my journal up and start working on some things as I wait for everybody else to trickle in over the course of the day or evening.
Gotcha.
Libraries. do research, try to figure
Wise.
out as much as I can.
About anything in particular, or is this more like leisure reading?
What would I mean, with all of the Nine Hells stuff
Mhm.
and all of the association that the Van Thampers have, and just stuff to try to predict what we might come to expect.
Okay.
I don't know personally what that would be. I'm guessing that Riss would have a better idea. And trying to prepare, trying to prepare for whatever kind of threats or violence or manipulations.
Sorry, I was reading something. What what was the last thing you said? Looking concerning violence
For
and manipulation.
ways to respond to threats, violence, manipulations towards our party and towards other people who we may come across. Like the Van
Okay.
Thampers have obviously been manipulated by demons and devils and
Right. Let's go to.
trying to find out more about who is pulling the strings of the people who are pulling the strings.
That's right.
Because
All
at
right.
first it was like all Van Thampers, and then we found out that the Van Thampers were actually just pawns of, I forget what the other people are, or what their names are. I have it written in here somewhere.
Portier.
The hymns.
Thaddeus Creed.
Thaddeus Krieg. Yes.
Yeah. Creed signed the pact with the Infernal Devil of the Nine Hells years ago.
Let's look at.
Thaddeus Creed died. Gorgoroth. Yep, that's the shield.
Give me an investigation check.
Sure. My character does have the researcher specialty.
So that gives you.
It just says researcher when you attempt to learn. I can actually post it. There you go.
Oh, there we go. When you can learn or recall a piece of lore, if you do not know that information, you often know where and whom you can obtain it. Usually, it's from a library. Oh boy, yeah. Holy wow. You are definitely in the right place. Okay, yeah. There you go.
I wasn't bullshit when I said seasoned.
Yeah, you're like, I happen to be a researcher as well.
Yeah, Riss is like it's like that scene of Gandalf in what's it called, when he goes to Gondor and he's researching on the ring and Gollum and everything, and
Yeah,
pouring through all the books.
I have found this ring. It is precious to me. I shall not give it up.
Let's see. All right, so let's go with, and I think I read some of this last time, but here, this will be a, you managed to find very close to the laboratory of Silvira. There is a large section dealing with the Nine Hells and the Blood War and things like that. So yes, a little refresher on like Gargoth. So you find out Gargoth first rose to prominence in Hell during the early days of the Blood War, when he actually discovered that a demon named Astaroth had infiltrated Asmodeus's court and actually managed to become the treasurer of Hell. When his deception was revealed, Astaroth fled, and as a reward, Asmodeus made Gargoth the new treasurer of Hell. Gargoth's rise continued until he was named an archduke, ruling over Avernus as one of the lords of the Nine, Avernus being one of the planes of Hell. Now, it appears, now this is it looks like the tome you're written has this scribbled out and then rewritten again, then scribbled out and written again, as there might be conflicting information. But it says he was overthrown by Bel, who had risen from a lowly lemur before, which is like basically the lowest form of devildom. Risen from a lowly lemur before engineering the coup that left him in charge of Avernus. Gargweth then chose to leave Hell and journey on the material plane. That's when he became known as the 10th Lord of the Nine, the Lost Lord of the Pit, the Hidden Lord, the Outcast, and the Lord who watches. And it says, so at one point, Gargweth's ancient feud with Astaroth, who was the demon who had infiltrated Asmodeus's court, never ended. Astaroth, for his part, had become a demigod in his own right and was on the cusp of achieving godhood, with a number of cults to Astaroth scattered across Faerun. Now, Gargweth sought out Astaroth and slew him before he could, realize his divinity. Now, again, it says some claim this was done at Asmodeus's behest, and although that's why they say was Gargweth actually cast out by Bel, or was he perhaps like still working and loyal to Asmodeus, and perhaps this was all a big ploy. After Gargweth slew Astaroth, he assumed his mantle for himself, effectively impersonating the dead demon and receiving the worship of Astaroth's cultists. Then, perhaps overconfident in his new power, Gargweth joined an alliance of the dark gods, including Bane, Baal, Leviatar, and Talona, to invade Hell and seize it from Asmodeus. The invasion failed. Gargweth was captured. Asmodeus offered him a choice between utter destruction and a pact. The pact that Asmodeus gave him bound him into the shield of the Hidden Lord. The exact details of what this pact are not specified, but that is how he was basically trapped in this shield.
Gotcha.
So
that was a tasty nugget.
Yeah. Gargweth is definitely a very interesting character.
We had him in a shield and we gave him away.
No, we have him.
Well, did you all take the shield back, or did you leave? I think did you leave it with her? Yeah, because she said she was going to study
We
it.
left it with her for studying, with a clear understanding we could retrieve it if we wanted.
Yeah, she
With the
definitely said that.
understanding that 7 level 5 characters are now cannot get the shield back. Just wanted to point that out.
I mean, to be fair, if
be
she
fair.
wanted it, she could have just smote us all and taken it.
If we're just gonna give it to her.
Well,
Yeah, it's like the dealer doesn't take your car when you take it in to have him take a look at it. I mean, the valet doesn't jack your well, the valet might jack your shit. You got a receipt. You have a receipt.
Right.
Right. I failed my wisdom save. It doesn't matter.
All right, let's fast forward to Bruticus.
Bruticus?
Whatever that dude's name is.
Traxigor.
What's his name? Traxigor? Yeah.
Traxigor.
Actually, now that I think of it, there was a Transformer Bruticus, the one that all of the army vehicles turned into. So there was like an army tank and a helicopter and a space shuttle and some other army vehicles, and they also turned into a big Voltron. And I think the big dude's name for that was Bruticus.
Ah, that's right.
Awesome.
I think you're right.
It started to go a little overboard. I think that's when Transformers jumped the shark, when it's like every other Transformer was part of a Voltron assembly.
There was a time in that that was a horrible time in the Transformer legacy.
Because
That's when the
ironically also
micro
where they came from.
Transformers came out and the microdots and
They're always better than the microbots.
I was expecting them at some point to make a Transformer that was, it was like 5 Transformers form a big guy, and then you have 5 of those big guys all made up of 5 small ones, and they form like an even bigger guy.
I did like the Destructicons.
Yeah, they were
Like
pretty cool.
their lime green and purple look. The dinosaurs got weird. I think they had the planes all together at one time.
Carry
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Look, I'm a traditionalist. I like Decepticons and Autobots. That's it.
What I never got was, so the Decepticons turn into airplanes and the Autobots turn into cars.
They can fly.
But all of them can fly. So like, what fucking difference does it make?
I didn't think the Autobots could fly.
They picked things. The Decepticons picked more militaristic because they were aggressors, and the Autobots picked civilian vehicles like ambulances and jeeps and trucks and cars.
It was an army jeep.
Except how do you explain the boombox?
Because it was in the 80s.
And that was like the main intelligence officer.
Yeah,
that was
Soundwave.
That was
Soundwave.
definitely the strangest. It was a totally cool toy because he like actually his little cassette tapes turned into little robots.
those
too,
were
but-
awesome.
The Falcon and the
But-
dog.
But what a weird! There he is.
Oh.
Joey Joe's got one.
He doesn't want to. It's like blocking him out. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep. But like, I can just picture a bunch of executives sitting around a table. We got to think of a new Transformer robot. Does anyone have any ideas? Well, how about a military jet? We got a whole bunch of those. How about a bunch of fast?
How about a
cars,
yellow
like
one, though?
Porsches. They're like, we got a bunch of those too. How my son has been begging me for a boombox for Christmas. So how about a boombox Transformer?
Boombox.
Those are popular. Kids love. There's nothing more fun than playing with a boombox.
Right.
Walking around on the street with a boombox on your shoulder, blasting into your ears.
Then you have little earbuds doing the same exact thing.
I have a mega bass button though,
That
Mm-hmm.
the
or
the
turbo
boom-
bass.
The boombox is such an 80s figure. Like it could almost be like you show a picture of it and just say, "Tell me what year this was," and everyone's gonna get it.
That's right. Tell me you lived through the 80s without telling me you lived through the 80s.
Roller skating with a boombox on my shoulder.
Right. Sorry, I'm trying to grab a picture here. I thought I already had it, but I apparently do not. Here it is. That. Do. Save, yes. And meow.
A boombox, a big piece of cardboard, and that's all you need when you're breakdancing.
Wrist wrap.
Build a spin.
All right, where did that go? Oh, there it is.
What are we looking at here, DM?
All right. So, later that evening, it actually comes quite late, past dinner time. I can assume that you all have been able to eat at least at the hearth when good old Fallister Fisk comes in, and he says, very, very good news. I managed to talk to Traxagor. and he is willing to meet with you first thing tomorrow morning. He says, unfortunately, he is nose deep in some other pressing research that he's got going on, but he will meet with you. And I did speak with the Mistress Savicus, and she is still currently working on the puzzle box. She says it is nefariously difficult, but the device is slowly being unbound. So please, make yourselves comfortable, and by tomorrow morning, hopefully we shall have more answers to all of the pressing questions, and I shall come by shortly after breakfast. Let's say maybe 9 a.m. I can collect you, and we can make our way directly to Traxigor's laboratory.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see you in the morning. Unless, of course, you'd care to stay and have another drink with us this evening.
Yes.
How he says, I would love to. I would absolutely love to, but apparently, I think that the Mistress Savicus requires my my hands as well as my eyes to do some more research. And apparently, she's a little upset that I was. I mean, it wasn't my fault I was kidnapped, but well, try telling that to a researcher. She's well, she just said there was so many scrolls that went unscribed while I was away, and now I've got work up to my ears. But I will definitely be very much looking forward to seeing you on the morn and going to meet Master Traxigor.
Greatly appreciate that. If you can give us any insights on her impression of our interesting little party here in that first meeting, that would be very helpful. And obviously, anything that you can share with us about Traxigor before we go, that would probably help in the conversation. Again, that would be very appreciated.
I will absolutely do what I can to sort of read the room, if you will. I believe that she, she doesn't get a whole lot of company, given her line of work, but she does have a surprisingly quick wit, and is, her sense of humor, which is rarely seen given the occasion, but is obviously very much appreciated as well.
So are we at the tavern currently?
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay. Well, for what it's worth, I will be working the tavern, doing cheap magic tricks for tips and stuff.
I will as well, of course, giving enough space between the bards to do their thing.
No, please accompany me, Koda. We've done it before. Let's
Indeed,
work the room.
indeed.
Let's do our thing, please.
Yes, well,
Magic works. Magic pairs with music so well. I always say.
I agree. And I would be most honored to accompany you, sir.
You have to sing a song about how a bunch of nerds were reading books and they got sand kicked in their faces. And then they met a strong guy who taught them to, pump iron, and then they went and beat up the bullies.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. See, look at that. It's kind of what we've been doing already, though. I mean, obviously, it's what I'm ready to, compose. For you.
It only really works in a town like this, though.
I do show off some of my cloak's new oomph. as I'm playing my lute, somehow accompanying me is a drum.
Sweet.
Like a self-playing drum.
No, just the sound.
Mhm.
Dum, da, da, dum, da, da, dum, da,
But
da,
it's
dum.
playing along with me.
It's pretty cool. You're a one-man band.
I am indeed.
cloak of one-man band is.
Unfortunately, the only song it knows is
Smoking water.
yeah. I was
God.
gonna say what is the Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Suede. Hookah chaka, hookah, hookah, hookah chaka.
Yeah, no, the only song it knows is "Never Gonna Give You Up" by Rick.
Sweet.
That's right. The Cloak
Cloak
of
of-
Rick
Cloak of
Roll.
Rick
Rolled.
Cloak of Rick Roll.
That would be a phenomenal like +1 mace. The
Right.
Rick roll. The sonic damage be great.
That's right.
Are there any requests? Any
damage.
requests? Yeah, play a song. Play a song. So, yes, okay. Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yeah.
Right away.
It's the +1 mace of Rick rolling. It's really good, but it can never hurt you. So let's see. We do morning time, unless anyone you guys kind of share the knowledge.
Grin's uninterested in knowledge. He just drinks and eats and closes the bar down and goes to sleep.
Riss, tell me anything that you thought was particularly interesting in your research yesterday.
I am still trying to put all of these pieces together. I don't have enough to come to any clear conclusions.
Well, if it will help, I can offer you my journal. It's got quite a bit of notes. Dealing with the outer planes was something that House Kincaid did on a very regular basis. Both the celestial and the infernal are known to us, and to a large degree, there were some business partners that may have been from different realms. I don't know many of the actors personally, but they were some of the names that we've been mentioning, in particular Bell and Gargoyle. They were notable in some of the conversations I heard with some of the other older members of our family. That being said, I could offer you my journal. It, like I said, it has some of my notes in it. It may be of use to you as you start to piece together some of this.
I would be
I'll
most
slide
grateful for
over
that.
a relatively thick leather-bound book, about the size of a moleskin notebook, as we all know what that is, but about twice as thick, mostly in all handwriting with sketches and stuff. Looks like a journal that somebody would keep during school or education, with some private notes and thoughts like on the margins. Nothing incredible, really, just kind of general thoughts on the outer planes. In particular, pacts, deals, making agreements with different types of beings, both infernal and celestial.
I still have the Van Thamper journal. And yeah, I will pull it out and I will try to see if I can make any comparisons with what I have already deciphered. And see if there's any hints in Jaren's journal to see if any of the information communicates with or complements each other.
Well, yeah. Are you? Because she's got the one journal that you were. Oh, actually, you know what?
I have the one that has like the mirror writing.
Yeah.
And
it's
and I was gonna hand it over as evidence, but then guy got Got.
got.
Yes, and I will. You know, you had enough time on the road. You know, because that was what 3 days, 2 nights to study it, that you would be able to crack the code.
Okay.
One of the it it definitely was a super difficult code. So yes, so it's let's see, had the mirror writing. There was also a letter swapping formula that you had to
Yep.
figure out. Also transpositional words. And then finally, it not only was it using all that, but then also different code words were used to disguise the true names of things. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
an abysmal, dwarvish, common, undercommon.
right, yeah. And then so you had to not only like, so you managed to get to the part, and then you're like, okay, so now I know. But then, you know, they're talking about things like the falcon and the statue and the gemstone, and you're like, okay, then it took a while to figure out, okay, those are actually code words for real people and locations. And one of the things that you found out, you know, rather sort of to your chagrin, is that it actually has in there notes describing how Thalmara had sent her son Amric to deliver a powerful weapon to assassinate Duke Portier at the, you know, the morning dedication at the statue of the beloved Ranger. So she, yeah, it was yeah, it was going to be a very difficult thing in order to crack that in time.
Keep that little nugget to myself.
Yeah, you're like, oh, well, look at that.
Shit.
It also does mention though that if so, since Thalmara is dead, if the weapon was delivered, that means that Amric is obviously still alive and well, wherever he is, and so that is an interesting little nugget, and possibly still pulling the strings for the Van Thamper family. Looking through the different journals, you don't happen to find any sort of cross-referencing that deals directly with the Kincaid family, or, you know, dealings with you know, the Kincaids dealing with the Van Thampers. Although you know, Jaren's journal is certainly interesting reading.
Okay.
Let's see. This.
I would share I would share some of that with Jaren. I'd be like, based off of this, it seems that the plan for the assassination attempt has been a work in progress for some time now. And unfortunately, it does show that Amric had a piece to play in that.
Everybody's favorite, Amric.
Should have killed that motherfucker.
He
Yeah.
will not survive our next meeting.
It's gonna get painful for him.
Riss, I think my general question is one. That's some pretty good insight. It's probably better than we've had yet. Are you getting any kind of sense of maybe what other targets or other things that they would be interested in that we could look into? Maybe try to get there before Amric or whoever else we're dealing with is.
That's what I'm trying to pull out of this.
Good night, Matt.
Okay.
Night, Matt.
Guys,
Hi, Matt.
I'm fading.
Hi, Matt.
I don't know how you guys stay up so late, but I'll see you. Night.
Isn't it only 9:30 over there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm impressed because you managed to stay up, I think, till midnight when we were playing over here, which is
Barely.
be 2 a.m. Yeah,
Mm,
that was wow.
Yeah. No, I'll share. This journal is written in 4 different languages. It has
Oh.
mirror writing, word swaps, different languages and different sentence structures, mixing them together. I just cracked the last piece of it, unfortunately, just a little bit too late. And I am going to dig into future
For what it's
Mordecai.
worth,
future knowledges.
this may be a thought risk, but we are in Candlekeep, and you're a pretty smart researcher, obviously. We might be able to hire somebody to look into this for us
Hmm.
and maybe send word to us like what they find. We can give them some parameters and see if there's anybody that would be willing to do that. I mean, Candlekeep, again, they are a library, but make no mistake, like they deal
Full-time
in
scholars.
knowledge. They do it for a price too, so it may be expensive, but we might be able to utilize the resources of Candlekeep, for a nominal fee or perhaps a service to give
Absolutely.
us some greater insight.
Perusing through the rest of Van Thamper's journal, you do see that you do have her sort of notebooks that have, it seems to contain most of the legal, on the books type business dealings, schedules, calendars, meetings, notes taken about things. This book that is so heavily coded has, not only does it have the information about the assassination, but it has her, tyings, the organizational charts with the Dead Three. So like Vaz and some of these other guys that you've, already dispatched. It goes back in the history of, how this stuff, how she started getting into it, setting up, trying to discredit the Flaming Fist in order to, usurp the power structure and the leadership of the Flaming Fist. This is kind of the smoking gun showing that, yes, the Thelmara Van Thamper was indeed, the mastermind behind the Dead Three, the assassination, all that kind of stuff.
I share all of that info with Jaren.
Gotcha.
I say, and just based off of what we're holding here, if we could get this scribed somehow or even handed over to some of the scholars here, this is evidence of our innocence and their guilt. That is what we're trying to use this for when our guy got assassinated.
I think so. I suspect we would need to ask for a some sort of writ or verification from one of the more senior members of Candlekeep, though.
Yes.
Probably something with a seal, perhaps magical or mundane, perhaps both, that we could utilize when we went back to Baldur's Deep. God damn it. Baldur's Gate. I'm getting
Never
better.
gets old.
But I think that's something that we would need to be able to secure. If that is in fact the evidence that you think that would at least give us some sort of like legal cover, if you will.
Yes.
It would probably need to be verified by Candlekeep.
Yes. I completely agree with you.
And then Darius, if you could roll a performance with advantage as well.
With advantage.
As the two of you and Mordecai are sort of
Mordecai
playing the room.
circles the room doing illusions.
Oh, look at that shit. There's a nat 20.
I got a
Ooh.
19. He gets the nat 20. We're
Wow.
freaking killing it.
Yes.
Those monks, man, we are just if they wore socks, we're knocking their sandals off, boys.
Right.
There might be some sort of epic result to that. Like there might be somebody who remembers me.
Yeah, I think so.
that
Yeah.
particular performance.
You there that night that magician and that bard came by? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Climax of,
yeah, it's
I know
it's
Mordecai
it's
got
not a
everyone in
full
the
house,
room.
but it's yeah.
Lost control of their loins at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's right now, honestly, my performance is no joke.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, plus 9. That's
It's
brutal.
It's no joke. This
If you would have asked for sleight of hand, it might have been different. But...
yes, that's very true.
I'm guessing you have like feats and all sorts of stuff just stacked into it.
No.
Just awesomeness.
We're here with the band.
Just a
What kind of
20
music do you
charisma.
like? Oh, we play both types here, country and western.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
Yes. So yeah, you collect 13 gold and a standing ovation from the crowd.
Excellent. Thank you, kind sir.
And the tavern keeper. Yes, here I'll the pub has a low ceiling supported by massive wooden crossbeams and narrow shuttered windows. A large fire pit in the middle of the room is surrounded by a half a dozen tables and matching benches. You've got at least a dozen or so patrons that are there for supper. Yeah, you do notice too that at the end of it, somebody that you saw when you first came in was sort of sitting back in the shadows with his nose in a book, but definitely stood out as a very enormous person. There is what appears to be either a half or a full ogre, and he's crouched down in one of the stools, and you see him. He looks actually rather well dressed. It looks like he's had clothes specifically tailored, to fit his extra large size. But he's not wearing the purple robes of one of the monks, but he is wearing fine clothing. And you see he kind of looks like Andre the Giant with this like sort of a big, almost like an afro that's being held in place. He's got this sort of a thin golden headband that wraps around this big fro on his head. And
this
he has
this is a half orc?
No, this is an ogre.
An ogre.
Yeah, and at the end of the performance, you see him walk over to Darius, and Darius is a huge person, and he just dwarfs Darius. He's like Darius comes up to about the middle of his chest, and you see him, and he's clapping his hands, and he goes, "Oh, this is probably one of the best performances I think I've ever heard. My salutations and greetings to you. This is so wonderful. I wonder, would you be playing again, perhaps tomorrow night?"
I have no specific plans as of yet, but this does seem to be a place to which I would return.
I believe we're going to be here for the next couple of days. Yes.
Yes.
And he looks down at Mordecai and he says, "Oh, and you too. I love all of the magic arcane tricks that you do. It is very, very good. I see some of the researchers and the arcanists around here, they can do similar things, but they don't tie it together the way you do. Yours are very, very entertaining. It takes quite a bit to get me away from reading the books, but you had my attention the entire time."
Well, perhaps we will see you here again
It is
tomorrow.
much appreciated, kind sir.
And thank you. Yes. If you need anything,
You can come and find me. I'm called Little One.
Little one, yes, little one. Indeed.
Clearly.
Indeed.
And then with that, he kind of nods and he bows. You can see he kind of like tries to make himself appear kind of smaller. I think he's very aware of how ginormous he is, and he shuffles back to the shuffles back to the table he was at, and he's like, okay, you're not playing, and he pulls another book out from his he's got like this sort of a large kind of like a backpack. It'd be a backpack for anybody else. It's like a belt pouch for him. And he just keeps on pulling books out from it. Just the guy's just he's like a speed reader. He's just like voraciously reading stuff. And
Excellent.
he's an ogre. Let's see. So and then the innkeeper. The innkeeper is he says Elturel, can't say that I've had any visitors from Elturel here, and well, boy, it's probably been at least a fortnight, so I haven't heard any news of Elturel, but then again, we don't usually get a whole lot of visitors. I know it's a holy city, and so probably don't get a whole lot of people from there looking for books unless they're with the clergy. But yeah, is that where you're from? Are you from Elturel?
Oh no! I am. I hail from Waterdeep originally, but I do appreciate your assistance in this matter, and I will inquire elsewhere because from what we know, there is some rather touch and go situation in Elturel.
Oh well, I'll keep my ear then. If I hear any scuttlebutt around the tavern, definitely let you know. And please, you can come back and play any night of the week. I could tell right away that you definitely came from a big city like Waterdeep.
You are too kind. If there is ever anything I can do to increase my purse size and yours, do not hesitate to call upon me.
And just to let you know, as long as you're here and entertaining my guests, your drinks are on me. So please.
Thank you kindly, sir. Kindly, indeed.
And then he goes back and he's busily filling out orders for the dozen or so patrons that are there. If did anybody else want to do anything, or is it are people going to start retiring for the evening?
I think that's probably a good jumping off point.
And if we want to do a everybody gets to sleep for the night. Grin, as you are in your private room again, you guys are in a very nicely appointed public house. No sooner do you get to your room that you hear a knock on the outside of the door.
Somebody's finna get stabbed.
I'm about to go to bed. I don't know what you're talking
about. You open the door and it's Silvira Sadikis is standing outside.
Silvirus and a guest?
No, she's standing outside. She's right outside the door.
I say, I really am. I apologize for breaking that jar. It was really an accident. I didn't mean anything.
She says, "Oh no, don't even worry about that. That's I was able to clean it up. It was no problem at all." And she says, "Do you mind? Can I enter? Can I?"
Please come in.
She comes into the room and she says, again, please do not even trouble yourself over the jar. It is thankfully not one of the more explosive jars that I had around the room that may have done more than put a little bit of fungus on the wall. But she says, where do you come from? She says, your accent. This is something I feel like I have heard it somewhere before. It sounds good to my ear, but I cannot place where you are from.
Oh, I grew up in Waterdeep, but I haven't been back in a long, long time. I've sailed up and down the Sword Coast for many, many years.
Mm. Oh, you are a sailor.
In a matter of speaking, yes.
So that must be because I've heard the Waterdeep accent before, but I think your accent sounds like it is like it has a mixture of different sounds.
As much as I really want to hear where this is going to go, I've got to get up early, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm really intrigued. I'm dying to know where this is going. I'm going to have to watch it when I get up in the morning.
All right, Mordecai.
Okay.
See you, Jojo.
Good night, guys.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I'd say I barely recall my time in Waterdeep. It's really a city that reminds me mostly of sadness and things I would like to forget. So if anything, I've adopted and adapted to whatever languages and variations on languages I've probably picked up in sailing throughout the years.
she says, I apologize. I don't mean to bring up a bad memory for you if this is.
It's no worries. You didn't know.
She says, thank you. Sometimes I spend so much time reading books. It's not too often I get to have conversations with, especially with interesting people who sail the world in from distant ports. So she says, do you mind? Would you mind sharing a little bit? Again, I am a researcher, but where have you sailed to? Like, what is the most interesting place that you have been to?
So I say, is there a table in the room, like a little table and chairs?
Yeah. There's a bed, a nightstand, like a small table. Yeah.
I say, please have a seat. Would you like a little wine?
Oh yes, please. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you.
Take out a couple goblets and I pour some wine. I pour some of the better stuff that I have, not the swill that I drink on a regular basis.
Nice. You're like, here, have some. Wait, no, you don't want this shit.
No. I say, do you mind my asking why someone of you must have traveled in your times? I can't imagine that you have been locked up in this tiny city, as splendid as it is. I can't imagine that you've spent all of your time here for so long.
No, I have. Obviously, I did not grow up here in Candlekeep, but as soon as I began doing my research, I started out as a scribe here, and from there, began to learn many things. And unfortunately, the academic life leaves very little time for travel. But honestly, there is no place else that I would rather be, except perhaps talking with you right now. This is very nice for me.
Ah, yes, I of course am sort of the opposite. A city like this doesn't hold much interest for me. I read occasionally, but my life is more one of fine food and fine wine and travels and seeing the world. I fear I would grow restless in a city such as this for too long.
Ah, yes, restless. Occasionally this does happen for me as well. As much as I do enjoy the research, the reading, doing all of this, I do find that I get not depressed, but lonely. Like I have, there are other scribes, there are researchers, but they just talk book all the time, and most of the time this is okay. But sometimes I have desire for more. So then I find interesting people like you, and I think, oh, maybe this person can offer something more than just talk about the book. So
What can I say about myself? As a sailor, it's easy to go to several ports of call. Of course, I've been to Baldur's Gate several times. I've been back to Waterdeep, though I rarely stay long, and I usually stay upon a ship during those times. I've been as far north as getting near the spine of the world, and as far south as Kalimshan and the cities further.
As you're talking, she's like inching closer, like getting closer and closer, like, and at one point, she puts her hand on your hand on the table.
Ah, so the interest is more than just. Are you really interested in my accent?
No, I love your accent. I think it is quite charming. It is very nice, and you perhaps I'm sorry. I don't mean to be too forward. Again, I have not very much times to be in a social situation with someone of opposite sex where I get to, have a conversation like this. If I am doing something that is improper, let me know. I shall stop.
No. This is as pleasant to me as it is to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Late Night with the
And at that point, she's like, you see her kind of lean in for a kiss.
I go for it.
Yeah, she is definitely seems into it.
And the breath smells like Mordecai's. Some things you can't hide.
I mean, I have it half in my mind that this could be a trick because that's how it always goes with this guy.
Right. Yeah, without getting too graphic, yeah, she stands up and she holds your hand and like starts leading you towards the bed.
Wait, didn't you say that? I thought you said that she was here with an associate.
No. She was just at the door.
Okay.
Yeah. She was at the door by herself.
Okay. At first I thought you said it was her and like an associate or something.
You're like, this is awkward. Is that dude just gonna sit and watch, or like what are we doing here?
Are you joining us?
Yeah. Does this turn into like a three-way thing? Is he gonna? Yeah. It's like, are you a scribe? Are you gonna be writing this down? Excuse me.
By the way, I just posted.
Oh my God! Yes.
The Hector, the well endowed, and the Hayden scene.
From Community, so good, so good. No, yeah. So yeah, if you would like, she will definitely go to your bed with you.
Oh yeah, he's all about that.
Nice. And we can fast forward to the morning. So it is the sun rises, and let's see.
If it's Mordecai, he's going to pay a lot more than he did last time. He can keep pulling this if he wants, but it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Tonight we're putting that mature rating to a test. That's right. Welcome to Up All Night with us here at the Critical Fail.
Let me show you the techniques that I learned in the deepest place of Kalimshan.
So when morning comes, you find the bed empty. She has apparently.
This would not be as creepy if you two weren't brothers.
Like, Right? Yeah, well, yeah, it's sometimes you just gotta sacrifice it all for the role play.
This
uh,
long Minnesota Nights coming back.
Where's your hand? Between two pillows. Those aren't pillows. All right. So she has obviously excused herself, but definitely a very passionate and fun night for sure. So in the morning, Fallister Fisk will meet you guys shortly after breakfast, and he takes you back to the keep where you will get to meet with Traxigor, and I'll give you just a little. Where is no? That's that. Where is Traxigor? Yes. You see him. He actually descends down the tower, and one level down, you see a cluttered chamber illuminated by various objects upon which continual flame spells have been cast. Scurrying around the room is an otter. It looks like this. Dressed in a tiny red cassock. The otter mumbles to itself in common, mentioning something about a tuning fork. Suddenly, it takes notice of you and stands upright. It says, "Lulu, wake up! Our guests have arrived." At the sound of the name, a small elephant with golden fur appears from under a pile of blankets near a table strewn with alchemical equipment. The elephant takes to the air on feathery wings and lets out a very pleasing trumpet sound, like a. And this is, let's get Traxigor here and Lulu here.
Oh, Lulu.
Lulu, and I think we can we'll stop it here for the next time as you guys get to talk to the very interesting Traxigor, the otter, and yes, and then we can pick this up next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, as we have yet more exposition.
Oh yeah, same otter channel, same.
That's right. I know. We've got a cat with a smaller flying cat. Now there's a small flying elephant and an otter dressed in a red cloak. So shit's getting weird.
Hey, Duck, thank you, Duck, so much for keeping the hordes of barbarians at bay.
Yay!
As you always do. And then also, doing the secondary job of keeping us in line. So we thank you for both and love
For
you.
your reward, here's a cat.
Yes. And we thank
Cat,
Dave Jack.
Cat.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, sir, for getting us started and then kicking us out.
Yes, thank you, Dave Jack, for setting that all up so our people could watch us all fail.
Pleasure.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, are you going to be? Is everybody planning on being back for next Monday, or are you still? Yes. All right.
Yep.
Good deal. Good deal indeed.
All right. Wave good night, everybody.
Yay.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.